Instructional design is one of those behind-the-scenes roles that quietly shapes how people grow, adapt, and succeed in their work. Whether it's through a well-crafted e-learning course, a hands-on simulation, or a simple job aid that makes someone's day easier, great design is what turns information into transformation. Today, we're going to explore what makes instructional design not just effective, but impactful. We'll look at the core principles that define strong design, how it accelerates learning in real-world environments, and where it's heading as new technologies and expectations reshape the way people learn. Hopefully, as a business manager, client, employee, or as a teacher or learner, you can now, after this quick overview, acknowledge the power and relevance of instructional design in your goals achievement strategy. To guide our conversation, we'll walk you through 3 key areas. First, we'll unpack what truly defines great instructional design beyond the buzzwords and into the principles that make it work. Then we'll look at how good design doesn't just inform, but actually accelerates learning and performance across organizations. And finally, we'll take a look forward into the trends and technologies that are shaping the future of how we design, deliver, and measure learning experiences.
The most important principle for designing lively e-learning is to see e-learning design not as information design but as designing an experience.
Let's take a moment and think about the core message beyond Cathy Moore's quote. This brings us to a powerful idea from one of the pioneers in our field, Cathy Moore. She reminds us, the goal of instructional design is to improve performance. It's simple, direct, and incredibly important. Because at the end of the day, our job isn't just to deliver information or tick off training hours. Our real purpose is to create learning that leads to action, that helps people do things better, faster, and with more confidence. Shifting into this learning experience objective involves mastering some core designing mindset and criteria that are tailored to the learner's unique needs, challenges, and cognitive processes. So, at the heart of great instructional design are 5 key characteristics that guide everything we do. We start with learner-centered design because learning is most effective when it's built around the needs, motivations, and real-world challenges of the learner. It's about relevance, accessibility, and meeting people where they are. Then, we focus on creating engaging content, materials that spark curiosity, maintain attention, and invite participation. Whether it's through storytelling, interactivity, or multimedia, engagement is what turns passive content into active learning. We also rely on clear learning objectives. These are our roadmap. They tell learners what they're aiming for and help us design focused, measurable outcomes. Without clarity, it's easy to lose direction. Another essential piece is effective assessment. We don't just assess to check a box. We design assessments that reinforce learning, measure progress, and identify gaps so we can continuously improve. And finally, everything we build should be evidence-based. That means our choices, whether in strategy, format, or delivery, are grounded in research, best practices, and learning science. It's this balance of empathy, creativity, structure, and data that defines truly great instructional design. The theories that support our work draw heavily from cognitive psychology, educational psychology, and other social sciences which use scientific methods to study how people learn. So, when we're talking about creating really effective learning experiences, instructional designers don't just pull ideas out of thin air. They actually lean on a bunch of established educational theories and models. Think of these as the blueprints for building great instruction. Many of these theories draw heavily from cognitive psychology, educational psychology, and other social sciences, which use scientific methods to study how people learn. So, experience and creativity combine the knowledge from these theories, substantially enhances the learning goals. For example, you've probably heard of the ADDIE model, which is a classic. It stands for analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. Basically a step-by-step guide to make sure all bases are covered for figuring out learners need to checking if the training actually worked. Then there's the SAM model, which stands for Successive Approximation Model. This one is more iterative and flexible, kind of like building a prototype, testing it, tweaking it, and repeating that cycle until it's just right. Both Addy and Sam, along with many other theories like cognitivism, constructivism, and Gagne's 9 events of instruction, are super relevant to instructional design because they provide a solid foundation and framework. Instructional design is also an ever-evolving area. So theories like backward design by Luke Hobson or Merrill's principle of instruction help to shape the field. They help designers make informed decisions about how to structure content, engage learners, and ultimately ensure that learning sticks. Without these guiding principles, creating impactful and efficient learning would be a much more hit-or-miss process. Great instructional design is not just effective, it's efficient. It helps organizations shorten time to competence, improve retention and real-world application, reduce training costs, and increase learner engagement and satisfaction. So, let's see how instructional design really puts the pedal to the metal when it comes to learning. First up, focused learning objectives. Think of these as the GPS for learning. Instructional design makes sure that right from the start, learners know exactly what they're supposed to be able to do by the end of the experience. This clarity helps everyone stay on track and ensures that all content and activities are purposeful, directly contributing to those goals and speeding up the learning process because there's no wasted effort. Next, we have effective assessment and feedback. This is crucial for acceleration because it's like having regular checkups. ID incorporates ways to check understanding throughout the learning journey, not just at the end. And it's not just about testing. It's about providing timely, constructive feedback that helps learners pinpoint what they know, what they don't, and how they can improve. This immediate course correction prevents learners from going too far down the wrong path and helps them master concepts faster. Then there's engaging and interactive learning. Let's be honest, nobody learns well when they're bored. Instructional designers are experts at weaving in activities, discussions, simulations, or scenarios that grab learners' attention and get them actively involved. When learners are engaged, they process information more deeply and are more motivated, which naturally speeds up how quickly and effectively they learn. Logical content progression is another key accelerator. Imagine trying to build a house without a blueprint or starting with the roof. ID ensures that information is presented in a structured, sensible order. Concepts build upon each other, moving from simple to complex or foundational to advanced. This logical flow makes it easier for learners to connect new information with what they already know, reducing confusion and helping them grasp new topics more quickly. This ties in beautifully with reduced cognitive overload. Our brains can only handle so much new information at once. Instructional designers are very conscious of this and use techniques like chunking content into digestible pieces, using clear and concise language, and providing strong visual aids. By managing the mental effort required, ID helps learners process and retain information more efficiently, preventing that feeling of being overwhelmed, which can really slow learning down. Of course, learning accelerates when it clicks, which is where meaningful context and relevance comes in. If learners can see why what they're learning matters and how it applies to their real world, be it their job, interests, or personal goals, they're far more motivated and the information sticks better. ID focuses on connecting new knowledge to learners' existing experiences and demonstrating its practical value, making the learning process more impactful and faster. Finally, personalized learning paths are a powerful way ID can accelerate learning. Instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, instructional design can tailor the learning experience to individual needs, prior knowledge, and pace. Learners can spend more time on areas where they need more support and breeze through what they already understand. This customization makes learning more efficient and effective for each individual, helping them reach their goals quicker. Another great plus on instructional designing is the synced speed with technology evolution. Let's look into the crystal ball and talk about the future of ID and learning technologies. It's a super exciting time because technology is evolving at lightning speed, and it's dramatically shaping how we'll learn and how instructional designers will create those learning experiences. So, we are always up to date. First off, artificial intelligence is a massive one. Imagine learning experiences that adapt in real time to your individual needs, almost like having a personal AI tutor. AI can help personalize learning paths, provide intelligent feedback, automate content creation, and even identify learners who might be struggling. It's poised to make learning incredibly adaptive and efficient. Then there's microlearning. We live in a fast-paced world, and attention spans can be short. Microlearning addresses this by delivering content in small, focused, bite-sized chunks. Think short videos, quick quizzes, or brief interactive modules that learners can consume exactly when they need them, often on the go. This makes learning more digestible, easier to fit into busy schedules, and great for reinforcement. Closely related is mobile learning. Most of us have smartphones or tablets glued to our hands, right? So it makes perfect sense that learning is increasingly designed for these devices. This isn't just about shrinking content for smaller screens. It's about leveraging the unique capabilities of mobile, like GPS for location-based learning, cameras for real-world tasks, and instant access anytime, anywhere. It's all about learning in the flow of life and work. Next up is gamification, which is all about applying game mechanics and design principles to non-game contexts, like learning. Think points, badges, leaderboards, challenges, and storytelling. When done well, gamification can significantly boost learner engagement, motivation, and retention by making learning more fun, interactive, and rewarding. It taps into our natural desire for achievement and competition. We also have LMS and learning analytics. Learning management systems, LMS, have been around for a while, but they're becoming much more sophisticated. The real future here lies in learning analytics. By collecting and analyzing data on how learners interact with content and platforms, instructional designers and organizations can gain powerful insights into what's working, what's not, and how to improve learning outcomes. This data-driven approach allows for continuous improvement and personalization of learning experiences. And finally, virtual and augmented reality, VR and AR, are set to revolutionize how we learn by creating immersive experiences. VR can transport learners to entirely different environments. Imagine medical students practicing surgery in a virtual operating room or technicians learning to repair complex machinery without physical risk. AR, on the other hand, overlays digital information onto the real world, which could be amazing for on-the-job training or interactive museum exhibits. These technologies offer incredibly engaging and hands-on ways to learn complex skills. So, the future of instructional design is deeply intertwined with these evolving technologies. We leverage these tools to create learning that is more personalized, flexible, engaging, data-driven, and immersive than ever before. At eLearning Crafted Designs, we are pleased that you joined us on this journey through the world of instructional design. As designers, we have the power to shape how people learn, grow, and succeed. Let's keep pushing boundaries and always remember, we're not just designing learning. We're designing transformation.